He wakes up without an alarm clock, he eats breakfast, reads the paper, has coffee, no meetings before 10 a.m., no rush, no grind, no alarms blaring. And this is the man who built Amazon. But let me ask you this. Do you really think Jeff Bezos got to this level by doing nothing in the morning? Let's go deeper, because the truth is far more interesting, and it might just change how you start your day tomorrow. Now here's the story you are being sold, and it sounds something like this. Wake up slow, journal, meditate, take long walks, let your mind wander. That's what billionaires do. That's the secret. And it is tempting, because after years of the 5 a.m. club, hustle culture, and grind till you die slogans, doing nothing sounds like freedom. It sounds like luxury. It sounds like you finally made it. But here's what no one tells you. You do not start at the finish line. Jeff Bezos can wake up at 7 or 8, sip coffee, and take his time because of one simple reason. He already built the engine. He already spent decades grinding in obscurity, taking enormous risks, bleeding for Amazon in ways most people would never dare. His current routine is a reward, not a strategy. It is the result, not the process. And if you try to adopt the routine of someone 20 years ahead of you without walking the path they took to get there, you are not creating success. You are creating delusion. Let me tell you a story. It's about a young guy, Tony. Tony lives in a one-bedroom apartment in the Bronx, works 2 jobs. He wants to start his own fitness brand. Every day, he watches billionaires talk about slow mornings, quiet reflection, and white space. So he decides, no more alarms. He wakes up at 8, has a slow breakfast, journals, does a 30-minute meditation, reads a few chapters of a book, feels productive. But by 11 a.m., he is drained. His shift starts at noon. By the time he gets home at 10, he is too tired to do anything for his business. And weeks go by like this. He is mimicking the routine of the successful, but he is not becoming them. Because what he really needed was not stillness, it was sacrifice. Tony needed to wake up at 5 to build the brand before the job, to bleed before he bloomed, but the world told him otherwise. Now let's go back to Bezos. Jeff Bezos did not always wake up like this. In the early days of Amazon, he was packaging books in his garage with his bare hands. He was up at ungodly hours. He was on the floor with calloused fingers and relentless drive. He was doing meetings, calls, strategy, warehouse logistics, everything. That version of Jeff, he did not have white space. He had urgency. And here is the truth. No one tells you. Urgency and discipline are the currency of those at the bottom. Freedom and space are the rewards of those at the top. You cannot start at the end. You must earn the stillness. Now let's look at the life of Lisa, so you understand better. Lisa just graduated from college. She follows every motivational podcast, reads Atomic Habits, follows productivity YouTubers. She decides to model her morning after a billionaire. Up at 9, yoga, green smoothie, gratitude journaling, 1-hour walk, creative time. It sounds healthy, sounds right, but there is a problem. She has not even decided what she wants to do yet. No business idea, no skill, no portfolio, no momentum. So all that space, it turns into a void, and the void turns into anxiety. She's not creating, she's floating, because here's what she missed. Those routines are built to protect energy, not to generate it. If you have no mission, no obsession, no urgent fire in your soul, stillness will not save you, it will crush you. Now here's the truth about routines nobody is telling you. A routine is not about copying the rich. It is about aligning your structure with your season of life. There are 3 seasons you need to understand. The build season, high effort, low payoff. You need structure, sacrifice, early mornings, and work when no one is watching. The scale season, medium effort, medium payoff. You have some momentum. You need systems, teams, and better decisions. The sustain season, low effort, high payoff. You protect your energy, guard your mind, and make long-term plays. Now, what season are you in right now? Bezos is in the sustain season. You are most likely in the build season. If you are in the build season, you cannot afford to mimic him. Trying to skip ahead is like planting seeds and sitting in the dirt waiting for harvest, while someone else is already picking fruit because they planted 10 years ago. Don't do. You need action, you need work, not a lazy routine when you have no money. Take Malik for instance. Malik was broke. lived in his car for 6 months, ate tuna and crackers, worked at a car wash during the day, and coded in libraries at night. He wanted to launch an app. No investors, no support. He gave up weekends, relationships, parties. But he had one promise to himself: this will not be forever. Fast forward 3 years. The app takes off. He is earning more than he ever imagined. And guess what? Now Malik wakes up without an alarm, walks his dog, sips tea, reads fiction for fun, takes meetings at noon, works 4 hours a day. He is living the routine everyone wants, but he earned it because he built the engine first. So, if you are watching this and you feel stuck, if you are trying to model routines that do not match your reality, here is what I want you to ask yourself. Am I in the build, scale, or sustain season? Do I need silence, or do I need sweat? Am I protecting energy I have not earned yet? Maybe your morning should start at 5 a.m. Maybe it needs to start with 50 push-ups and 2 hours of deep work. Maybe it needs to be ugly, chaotic, imperfect. That is okay. Do not chase the beauty of a routine. Chase the necessity of a mission. Listen, Bezos's slow mornings are not the key to his success. They are the result of it. The real secret? He did the work when no one was watching. He planted the seeds. He built the engine. And now, the engine runs without him. So the next time someone tells you to do nothing like Bezos, ask yourself, have I earned that silence? Because if you have not, then silence is not peace. It is procrastination in disguise. Start your engine, build your mission, then, and only then, enjoy the stillness. Your time will come. Maybe you are not Bezos, not yet. Maybe you are Tony, hungry, tired, and stuck in survival mode. The point is not to copy Bezos' routine and expect his results. That is like trying to plant roses in the desert without preparing the soil. The life you want demands a different version of you, first. And sometimes that version needs to wake up at 4 a.m., not 8. Sometimes it needs to skip the slow breakfast and head straight to the grind. Sometimes it needs to say, I'll rest when the fire is built. You are not failing because you do not have a slow morning. You might be failing because you think you have earned one too soon. But here's the twist. One day, you must switch gears. One day, like Tony, you will reach a place where your survival is no longer threatened. You will have options, time, leverage, and if you stay in survival mode too long, you may burn out or even self-destruct. Like a soldier who never takes off his armor, you may forget what peace feels like. That is when you earn the luxury of choice. That is when a slow morning becomes fuel, not a fantasy. So the goal, it is not to copy Bezos. It is to earn the right to build your version of Bezos' life, one decision at a time. So here's the thing. Morning routines are not about trends or celebrities. They are about intentional living. If you wake up and your first action is reactive, scrolling, rushing, snoozing, you are not living. You are responding to life. You are not leading it. Bezos uses his mornings not just to relax, but to control the pace, to own the rhythm, to ensure his mind leads the day, not the calendar. And that, no matter your income, is something you can apply. Even if it is 10 minutes of quiet, a notebook and a thought, a stretch and a plan. Because the truth is, clarity does not show up at your door. You have to meet it halfway. So be clear on what you want to do. Gain clarity. For example, in 5 years, Tony is no longer working 3 jobs. He has one stable business. He wakes up at 6, not 4. He spends 30 minutes walking before anyone else is awake. He sips his coffee slowly now, reads a little, smiles. Why? Because he earned this. He walked through fire. He sweated through chaos. He built something. And now, his routine reflects his growth, not someone else's highlight reel. So, do not chase the schedule, chase the season. If you take anything from Jeff Bezos' morning routine, let it be this. Do not chase the schedule. Chase the season you are in. There is a season for every kind of morning. Some mornings require war. Others require wisdom. But the mistake most people make is copying the morning of a man who built an empire while they are still trying to build the foundation. Your routine should not be a mirror of a billionaire's lifestyle. It should be a mirror of your mission. Bezos wakes up slowly because he can, because he spent years sprinting, so now he can walk. But if you are still in the trenches, if the bills are stacking, if your dream is still just a sketch in your notebook, then your morning needs to reflect that hunger. There is no shame in that. In fact, there is honor in it. And when the time comes, when you rise above survival mode and step into strategy mode, that is when your routine evolves. That is when you start choosing peace, not because you want it, but because you earned it. Tony, 5 years later, is not rich, not yet, but he is free. He now owns 2 small businesses. He wakes up at 6:30 a.m., makes breakfast with his son, journals for 10 minutes and prays. No alarms, no chaos, but that peace, it was bought with years of blood, sweat, and sacrifice. Years of waking up before the sun, of hustling when others were sleeping, of missing parties, enduring failure, eating cheap meals, and taking risks no one else understood. That morning routine, the one that looks calm now, it is a trophy, not a shortcut. Tony did not copy Bezos. He became someone worth emulating, in his own way. So, the real question you need to ask is not, what is Jeff Bezos' morning routine? The real question is, what does my life demand from me right now? Do you need rest or rigor? Stillness or speed? Do you need quiet mornings to protect $1 million vision or aggressive mornings to build one? You do not need to romanticize stillness if you are in a season that demands movement. You do not need to copy a routine that makes you feel less capable. Because here's the truth most people will never tell you. Self-care looks different in survival. And success never comes from imitation. It comes from alignment, doing what your current reality requires, not what looks good on social media. So whether you are Tony or someone who feels stuck between who you are and who you want to be, remember, your morning is not just a time slot. It is a statement, a declaration, a design for your future. Bezos did not become Bezos by doing nothing. He earned the right to do less because for decades, he chose to do more than anyone else was willing to. So do not rush to copy the fruit. Build your roots. Honor your season. If this message hit you somewhere deep, if it reminded you of where you are and where you need to go, then do not just click away. Share this with someone who is grinding silently. Save it for the days when you want to quit. Reflect on it when your alarm goes off tomorrow. Because your future, it starts the moment you decide your mornings are not just routines. They are your rise. And if you rise with purpose, you will not stay where you are for long. If this video was helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next video. A little secret is something you probably didn't know about Elon Musk that will help you achieve a successful life. Subscribe and get notified once the video is live on our channel.